And the partner to the tollway on every highway that the taxpayers have already paid for in Texas is, of course, the very controversial Trans-Texas Corridor, where the same governor is proposing to take swaths of land as wide as 10 miles that would separate someone's century-owned farm or ranch home from their pastures and their field. This has been a very secretive process. As you know, the House has also passed bipartisan language concerning the Trans-Texas Corridor. Is there any federal money of any type going into the planning of the Trans-Texas Corridor at present?
Congressman, I will have to check on that. I know at one time there was, but let me check on that and get back to you.
All right. The approach of doing so much of this in secret and treating our farmers and ranchers as just so much roadkill when it comes to participation in the process is one that I know bothers not only me, but bothers members on both sides of the aisle here. That's why the House overwhelmingly approved legislation directed to the so-called NAFTA superhighway. I know the administration doesn't concede there is such a highway, but as relates to participation in working groups concerning the Trans-Texas Corridor and the NAFTA superhighway, if it's to extend beyond Texas, does the administration support the amendment that the House overwhelmingly approved in that regard?
Congressman, I would say that we have not taken a position on that issue yet, but let me explain.
Well, we passed it a long time ago. Do you plan to take a position as this measure moves through conference one way or the other? Do you object to the restrictions that the House approved by a vote of 362 to 63 in July concerning this matter?
Congressman, we believe that state governments should have much more latitude than they have today to make decisions.
So it sounds to me like you want to give them the authority to have a secretive process to build a 10-mile wide highway, tearing up farms and ranches and rural communities where these people will not even be able to access the tollway perhaps built by a foreign firm, that as long as that's the state decision, you're content to let them do whatever they want to do. I think we have some responsibility with federal tax dollars to try to safeguard property rights and involve the public in participation in these decision-making, in these decisions. Let me just close, because I can see my time is up and I know the vote is underway, by also commenting about what you call your dirty little secret on earmarks. It is not a dirty little secret that both of the Federal Transportation Authorization Acts were approved by Republican Congresses with Republican chairs, that the so-called Bridge to Nowhere was the project, a totally Republican project. There's not one earmark in either of these transportation acts that would be there if this administration and the Republican leadership had wanted to cut them out. Why is it that the administration has been so quiet for so long and has not done anything about these earmarks until the fact that we now finally have a Democratic Congress?
Well, Congressman, let me take two answers. First of all, you, with all respect, you misinterpreted my comments about the Trans-Texas Corridor. Second, there is no NAFTA superhighway. There is no NAFTA superhighway at all, and we certainly believe in public disclosure as projects are developed. This administration also has a long record, a long record in speaking out against earmarks, speaking out against using the public's money in a way that is not publicly disclosed, and we will continue to stand behind that opposition.
Just specifically on the NAFTA superhighway, then, is there anything, since you believe in letting the states do essentially whatever they want in this area, to prevent the Trans-Texas Corridor when it goes from Mexico to the Oklahoma border from being connected to an Oklahoma Trans-Oklahoma corridor and then a Kansas Trans-Kansas corridor all the way up to the Canadian border?
Congressman, there are restrictions about connecting to interstate highways, access points to interstate highways. Any time that a road accesses or intersects with an interstate highway, that does have to be approved.
But you are putting money you have put money in the past into the Trans-Texas corridor.
As I said, sir, I will research that and get back to you.
I think you said you had done it in the past. You weren't sure if you were doing it now.
I said I thought we had, sir.
And you said that I have not correctly interpreted your comments about the Trans-Texas Corridor. Would you just elaborate on what your position is on the Trans-Texas Corridor?
I would be happy to, sir. We believe that there should be a full disclosure process, a process that involves not only the potential users of a highway, but those who are affected by the highway. This is required by the National Environmental Protection Act, and those types of processes, those open public processes, so the public has an opportunity to participate in decision-making, is absolutely something that we do support.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.